mental breakdown. I know it looks like a mess behind me, but let's pack for Silverstone. The reason I'm actually making this video is this time last year, it was coming up to the British Grand Prix. It was my first time going glamping. I didn't know what to expect, and there wasn't a lot going on YouTube. If you're going to Silverstone this year, or you're thinking of going next year, or you just like packing videos, this is for you. This is for you, Queen. Let's get into it. Let's start packing. You've probably heard this from like every person ever, but the weather at Silverstone is so unpredictable. So you need to basically prepare as if you're going on 2 holidays. You need your stuff that's going to be for the hot weather and if it's really warm, and also your items for if it's really cold. That makes it really easy to pack for. So last year it was really cold. It was freezing. I think at one point I wore like 2 hoodies on top of each other and like several layered t-shirts underneath. But last year I was also in a bad position where I couldn't pack everything I needed to because I was also going on holiday immediately after I got back. So I had to pack for 2 trips in 1 case. That's not the case here. I am literally only doing those 4 days. I'm arriving on the Thursday and leaving on the Monday. We obviously have a bit of a difference on what we need to pack because we have the glamping package, so we need to bring camping equipment. If you are doing camping on any campsite that isn't ridings, please add tent to this list. But this hopefully should be pretty comprehensive. If not, hey. This t-shirt will also be coming with me. I'm stating this now. It's just not being packed because there's still 2 races to go until Silverstone. This is how far in advance I'm doing this. Big up me. Put everything out on the bed solely for filming purposes, but I've done this in a really organised way. I have my hot clothes and my cold clothes, they're separate. Shall we start packing something? Should we start doing that? I should stop procrastinating, I should just do it. For disclaimer point, you'll see my suitcases on the bed. This is a new suitcase, so uncomfortable to have it on the bed. I never would typically do this, but I would usually put like something underneath that I don't mind getting dirty, but this is brand new because my last suitcase broke. This is from Trip. I got it on their payday sale. I think I paid £62 for a large suitcase, like the big boy suitcase. So decent. I'm going to be annoyingly somewhat out of shot, but the focus is this, getting this sorted. You'll see that I have my trusty packing cubes. I think I'm going to start with clothes because they're kind of taking up the majority of the bed space. So let's dissect that. I'm going to start off with kind of the summery clothes because they are smaller. I can pack them up really small, but not going to take a lot of space. So I'm not going to like panic myself. I have issues. So to start off, we have what I call like tea tops. I'm packing one. I really doubt I'll be wearing it. This is if it's like heat wave weather. It's something that I can just kind of throw on and feel like it's going to be quite cool, it's going to be quite comfortable if it's really sunny. I also, in the same kind of line, have a dress. I have this kind of like blue dress. This dress in particular that I chose because it will go with my Mercedes cap. I'm really thinking about these things. Can you tell? Can you tell I'm excited? I'm packing 3 weeks early. Yeah. And then also just kind of t-shirts. So I've got kind of a basic one from Uniqlo that will survive, you know, most weather conditions. I can put it on as like a layer, or it's going to be out in the sun. And more importantly, and probably one that I'll wear a little bit more often, is the McLaren top. I'll most likely be wearing this as 4 days. Like, you can wear the t-shirt 4 days running. The other t-shirt is just in case, like, I don't know, it gets really sweaty or it gets soaked through in weather, then I've got at least a change there. So brilliant. Jumpers. Now we're going into a little bit of warm clothes territory, but I just have, you know, a hoodie that has a hood. having a hood might be relevant to keep your ears warm, and I wore this last year. It was fine. This is more just like a, you know, throwaway hoodie. I really doubt that I'll like be wearing this one often, but more importantly, I have the Mercedes hoodie. This is one that I got at Silverstone last year. It was expensive, of course I'm going to get my use out of it, so that is going to be kind of the one that I will most likely wear on top of everything. It's me repping my team, you know, rep your team. And it will be quite, you know, on show. That then packs up the top half. It all fits in there quite nicely. There is a bit of space in there still, so if there's kind of little tidbits that don't have a home, nice, we can put that in the suitcase. And in terms of my bottom halves, I have some sort of like sports leggings. I'm probably going to wear these to travel in, mainly because it's going to be quite a long journey in. If you're going to Silverstone, one thing to kind of be prepared for is that initial journey, because a lot of people are going to the same place and it's not necessarily the most prepared roads for that. So I definitely recommend comfy, packing a little something in the car for a little snack, maybe a little drink, make sure you pee before you leave, that kind of thing. But yeah, these are not going to be packed into it, but I do have these as another pair of trousers. I then have a pair of jeans these are from Stradivarius. They are like full. These are long jeans. These can easily be kind of tucked into my walking boots. They are comfortable. I don't kind of get any like cutting in or anything, so they are easy to wear, and should be an extra layer of kind of protection against any wind. So packing those. And on that similar note, I have some more flowy trousers. These are just if it's a little bit hotter, but I still want to kind of keep my legs covered. These can also tuck into a pair of walking boots as well, so thinking hardcore here. Again, in case it's stupidly hot and we have some sort of heat wave, I've got a pair of shorts. Doubt I'll be wearing them, but always better to have them than to not have them. So I still have quite a bit of room in this packing cube. I'm also going to be packing pyjamas. I've got these fluffy trouser bottoms. These are like the warmest pair of pyjamas I own. And I also think when you're packing, and my kind of big advice for this is, if you get cold, there is not really much way you can warm yourself up, because there's no like buildings that you can stand in that have heating. So it's probably better to plan for it being really cold rather than really hot. And also I run cold in my sleep, so. And in similar lines, I have a hoodie that's just for kind of bedtime use and being in the tent, so I'm comfy and it doesn't have to get dirty. And then also I have a long sleeve t-shirt. This is from Dan Phil's Terrible Influence tool. So I've got a little tall t-shirt to keep me comfy, long sleeve, because warm. It is packed. It's a little bit bigger because there's a lot more thicker items in this one, but can now go in the suitcase. So we have 2 parts done. That's pretty good going. Pretty good going, team. You're literally watching a video probably with like a couple thing I packed, which you don't need to see. It's my underwear and socks. You all know what underwear and socks look like. They are just in here. I'm not showing them on the internet. I'm not that comfortable with you guys yet. But I packed 6 pairs of socks, some extra socks put in there, just in case, you know, shoes get soaked through, anything like that, then I'm not going to get trench foot, so yay. And also some fluffy socks, and some thicker like walking boot socks, just because it's self-explanatory at this point. The next thing I'm going to pack is my thermal layers. I think these are just kind of a handy shout to have, just in case. It's like a just in case scenario. If it is that cold, then I at least have something that I can make sure I'm still enjoying myself and not just thinking it's freezing cold the entire time. So just some like long sleeved kind of black thermals. These I think were like some cheap ones from Primark. Then I've also got these which are from Uniqlo. So this is their Heat Tech range. You can actually like pick how like dense you want them to be based on kind of the temperature zones that you're going to be in. These are like the more warmer end, I guess. I can't remember what temperature range, but I think it was around like the 10 to 14 degrees or something like that, which I thought Sounds about right, but this one is a little bit cooler. This one is more of a single digits, whatever. So these should hopefully come in handy. If not, I'm still prepared, but this is just in case I'm freezing cold. And also some like thermal leggings as well, also from Uniqlo, from that heat tech range. So these are quite handy to have in anyways, for whenever really. If you go on any winter holidays, I would also recommend them. The next thing that I'm gonna pack are my toiletries. I've actually managed to fit them all in here, so I know they all fit, but I'm just taking kind of mini toiletries with me. Things I think are of significance. I've got eye drops. These are the ones that like my optician prescribed, but it's very dusty around Silverstone, especially if it's hot, because it's all like mud that's kind of dried. And this is just, you know, a bit of relief at the end of the day. So eye drops, random, but kind of prepared for that. Then I've also got just like moisturizer, medication, shampoo and conditioner, again all in kind of like teeny tiny travel size stuff. One thing I also recommend as well is I've got this sunshine like UV hair protector. So it's like a heat protectant, but it's specifically got UV in. I took this with me to Florida, and the last thing you want is to kind of get like a burnt scalp in your parting. So this was really useful, and I'm going to take it. You apply it to wet hair, so post shower, put this in. You should hopefully not need to wear a cap all the time, but this tricky little thing. I've got face wash, I've got the Bioma. I got this on the like jelly one. Again, just toiletry travel size. I have shower gel and toothpaste, so everything's just easily accessible but teeny. Toiletry train, I got my toothbrush. I have a Suri toothbrush. I really like them. This is not sponsored, I wish it was, but travel case as well. It's a USB-C charger that it takes, and you can like sterilize it, which I think is really useful because I don't know what it is about campsites, right? But like, where does the water come from? like where? I don't think it's like, it's not drink, you can still drink the water, and apart from the ones that obviously have the signs, but like, just in case, I've got a brush. I've also got sun cream, SPF 30, that's kind of all I need. I'm pretty pale, and typically you'd expect that because of that I'd be on a 50, but I have like different things for my face, my body. 30 will do my body completely fine. I have aloe vera in case SPF 30 doesn't work and I'm eating my own words. I use banana boat aloe vera. Also things like body spray. I've got it in this, I've got like a cheaper body spray that I don't typically use every day, but this is more like a holiday spray. I took this with me to Walt Disney World a couple weeks ago. It just kind of reminds me of holiday every time I use it, so taking that with me. And finally, also some lip balm. I got the Laneige lip balm in vanilla. It's such a useful pack because it can get windy and I really hate feeling my chapped lips. I don't know if that's just me. Nah, that's such a thing. Just take some lip balm. The same lines as lip balm, I also do have a moisturizer that I take with me. I have like very dry skin, so if I didn't pack this, I would be probably struggling for the time I'm there. This is just for a bit of comfort. Bring your home comforts, like don't be scrimping when you're packing. You've got, considering we're going by car, there's no reason that I shouldn't be taking stuff I need, you know? Next up is my crossbody bag. This will be the bag that accompanies me throughout the entire weekend. It will have everything that I need in it. This is from Uniqlo again. Uniqlo should really sponsor me at this point. In it, and what I will kind of keep on me all day is ID, so bank cards, anything like that, obviously. I also have a notebook and a pen. On the odd chance that I bump into someone who is worthy of a signature, then I've got that. And I find that actually does fit into the bag. I will probably get a smaller notepad, but for now, that will do. I have, you know, like any medication I need, hand sanitizer, definitely pack hand sanitizer with you, because sometimes, particularly coming to the end of the weekend, some of the bathrooms run out of soap. You want to be able to wash your hands. And also if you're going to eat as well, rather than having to keep popping to a bathroom to wash your hands, just have it on you. And then also some hand cream. This one is honey. I got this when I was in Walt Disney World. It's a Japanese brand and it just smells really good. So, and it's got a really cute lid. Like, that's the good stuff. And then I also in here have some plasters. These are actually like really morbid, fun plasters. They just have like really stupid things on them, like his butter scratch. Just in case shoes start hurting, anything starts rubbing, or if you fall. I don't know when you'd trip, but like if you did, you need plasters. So I have those as well. And in that bag, alongside my notebook and pen, I'll keep my pen in there. I will also take my Kindle. I'm currently reading Atlanta as my book at the moment, so gonna keep that, have it on me. If it's a bit boring between races and I'm waiting for something, I can at least read a couple of chapters. I then also will pack portable chargers. I have 2 with me. These are fully charged, ready to go. They shouldn't need recharging whilst I'm away at the weekend, but just in case, I do have their charger as well. So that's all kind of prepped there. Also going to bring a packet of tissues. I think tissues are so useful to have on you. I also want to get a packet of like travel size wet wipes. I think they're quite useful in case you get sticky fingers, because there's a really good donut place and I can't remember where it is, but I know it's there. And if it's not there, I'm really disappointed, but tissues and wet wipes are definitely going to come in handy at that place, that's for sure. I'm also going to pack my own tote bag. This is a Snoopy one, just because if you're buying merch, you then don't have to keep buying carrier bags and paying the price. I do like to try and bring a reusable bag when I can, so I'm going to pack this in my bag and then probably fold this up to put into my crossbody bag. I will then give this to my boyfriend to carry when the day gets long. Smart moves. I only need 2 chargers for this trip. I have got my Apple Watch charger, so this I need to charge up. You get a lot of steps in, so it's nice to be able to track that on my watch. So I will be taking that with me, and also my phone and Kindle and toothbrush charger. So everything I use takes USB-C, so that can be perfect there. And I'll just bring this collapsible plug, which is one of the Apple ones that comes with the iPad. So that I shall take with me. Then I'm going to pack up my raincoat. So this is one of those sort of double lined coats. I got it from Mountain Warehouse, the one where it's got like a fleece inner which you can unzip. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can unzip it, and also it's waterproof, so to be able to protect myself from the rain and also the wind. It's quite a cozy jacket, and it also has a hood which I can fold back in, which is really handy because sometimes it'll just be cold and I don't need a hood, but then if I do need a hood I can whip it out and we're all good. So I actually got this in the sale. I think I got it for £45, which I think was half price. So I always recommend to get your coats in kind of like March time for kind of the winter period. But this will be coming in Silverstone. I'm very excited about it. Watch it be like a heat wave this weekend. As soon as I'm prepared, it's going to be a no. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. I'm not going to pack this coat. I'm most likely going to wear it or carry it around with me. It's not needed to go straight into my bag or into my suitcase, so I'm just going to keep this one on the side. It comes the important thing of shoes. So I'm going to take 2 pairs of shoes with me. I lied, I'm going to take 3 pairs of shoes with me. So I'm just going to take my Air Forces. These are old and kind of worn out, so I'm going to take them. This is just for dry weather and that I don't have to lace up, but they give me enough support that I would feel comfortable walking about in them all day. and they're old shoes, so I'm not gonna get blisters from them. If they can survive Disney World, they can survive anything. So my next pair of shoes that I will be taking are my walking boots. I have them in a very nice Tesco bag. It's just so, you know, they are a bit muddy, they have been used, but I will take these with me in this bag, and I'll put them in my suitcase in this bag, so when we come back and they're a little bit muddy, I can just put them in and they're not gonna like affect anything in my general vicinity. So yeah, I think for the majority of last year I was in these walking boots. These are the same ones I took last year, and even things like going to the toilet and after, like in the mornings, first thing in the morning, I'd put my walking boots on. So these are probably going to be the shoes I'm going to be wearing the most. My final pair of shoes, if we can class them as that, I'm just going to take a pair of Crocs. These will be quite good if it is dry, then I don't have to put on like and do what my list is, just go to the bathroom or something. This is literally just for being in the tent and on the campsite in dry conditions. So maybe this is a really excessive addition, but sometimes you just need a shoe that you can just slip on and go. So that's for specifically being in the campsite, also, you know, being in the bathrooms and stuff, so I don't have to walk barefoot into these places. Because I remember last year the bathrooms, like the showers, were really muddy, but on the Saturday, Sunday, because of how much rain we'd had, as in people had walked mud into the showers. That's a little bit gross in my opinion, so at least I've got shoes there that will protect my feet from having to squelch through any mud. That's kind of gross, but like that's my gross protector. You're thinking I'm way mad for that, but it's just how I feel, man. Just come on to kind of some final accessories. I bought a little bag of little like hair clips so I can just pull any hair out of my face. I don't know how useful these will be. I will also take a handful of hair ties. I seem to always have like 60 billion hair ties on me. So if you need a hair tie and you see me in the crowd, I'm your gal. But yeah, these will be quite useful just to have on me just in case. I will also take my George Russell Silverstone cap from last year. If there's another cap that comes out this year, I'll probably get that as well. This is quite nice. And then also just a claw clip. You never know when you need one. Sometimes it's a bit windy and you just want to pin your hair up, particularly if you're going to the shower or something. Useful. We will then also pack two pairs of sunglasses. These are my kind of everyday sunglasses, and then these are some like fun vibey ones for concerts and evening, you know, just for a bit of a vibe. If you don't have a vibe pair of sunglasses, what are you doing with your life? If you don't have a vibe pair of sunglasses, how do you survive university? That's another question. Then the final thing I have to pack is a towel. This is an old towel that it's been loved, you know, but I think it's perfect to kind of bring on this trip. If you're staying at the ridings, they do give you a towel, but I sometimes need more than one towel, you know, to dry your feet or to dry your hair, that kind of thing, or well, one or the other hopefully, but this will be quite useful just to throw in the bag, because you can ask for extra towels, but sometimes the situation doesn't call for it, or it'll be really late or something and the store's not open where you can ask. So thought I would bring my own. Be prepared for these situations. Obviously if you're camping or any other ticket, camping ticket, make sure to bring them anyways, to have your own towels. London, man, living in London. Obviously if you're staying in a hotel, then you probably don't need to bring towels. This is more specifically because I'm on a campsite. But there we go. That brings us to the end of the packing video. Now I'm all packed. It means the next thing that I gotta wait for is race day. Well, not race day. The Thursday. Well, yeah, Thursday. What day is that? The 2nd? 3rd? I think that's actually 3 weeks today. 3 weeks, that's all I gotta wait. or 3 weeks as I film this, or probably about 2 weeks when you're watching this. But that kind of gives you a bit of a idea of everything you need to pack. If you have, you know, any more tips, like is there anything that you would also bring to a trip? If you're glamping or if you're camping, what's on your camping list as essentials that perhaps I wouldn't have thought of? Or if you're staying at a hotel, what do you not need to pack? So let me know what else you think might be useful or as like a thing for Silverstone. I'm looking forward to getting some more advice because helpful, inclusive environment. But apart from that, the next video that you'll see after this will either be a Disney one or it will be my experience of going to the Williams fan event. I'm doing that on the Monday, so if you're going, I'll see you there. If you're not, then I'll let you know if it's actually worth your time going to London for these events. But aside from that, have a jolly rest of your day and see you on the trackside.